Hey guys, welcome back to Werner Farms. So, you guys have probably already know that I've been hinting that something has arrived, and I posted the coming soon picture, I think, yesterday or the day before. Yeah, the day before, I believe, on Thursday. And we were down in Iowa when I did that, southeast Iowa actually, and actually crop conditions down there, I didn't realize how bad it was down there. I knew Missouri was hit hard, but I didn't realize that southeast Iowa, I keep thinking southwest, it's southeast Iowa, was hit pretty hard too. So a little shocking to see that. I know, granted, I-80, anything along I-80 is going to look good if you guys know what I'm joking there, but regardless, I-80 along there, everything looks good as usual. We actually did see a guy cutting beans, and that's kind of hard to believe. It's August 23rd and they're already cutting beans, so I would assume those are probably planted real early 1.9s, I would say. Maybe some Group 2s. I highly doubt that, but unless they were planted in like early April, I would have to say, or even late March, but that's really pushing it on beans, I feel, for late March. But anyways, back to what happened today. I didn't go live. I know a lot of you guys are wanting me to go live on Instagram. I wasn't going to go live on YouTube, but it actually happened a little bit sooner than what we anticipated, actually. So we went to an auction Thursday, and we had this on our list, definitely going down there. There was a reason we were going down there, and we actually ended up getting what we wanted, and it went for a really good price. So without further ado, I guess, yeah, this is the John Deere 8530 that we ended up getting. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh god, is it an 8220 or is it an 8330, or is it a track tractor, is it a four-wheel drive, what's gonna come, what's coming? Yep, 8530. Now, I don't know if you guys did notice, it does have duals all the way around. As you can see, it has the bolt-on duals up in the front and the hub in the back for the duals back there. So I believe, I know the rears are 480 80R50s, I believe. Yeah, 480 80R50s, and the fronts are 480 80R38s. Yeah, 38s. I knew these were either 34s or 38s. 8 front weights. Does come with the inner weights on the inside, so there's about 2,000 pounds on the rear, along with the 375s are on either side. I believe those are 375. So got that today. I actually wasn't expecting it to come today. We actually have a local guy that we actually used to custom harvest for, and he has a trucking business and was able to come and get that. So that was pretty cool. He said he was actually kind of busy today, so I didn't really know if he said he was going to be really busy yesterday, so he wasn't really sure if he was going to be able to get it up or go and get it. But he said possibly Saturday, once we found out that we could get it in the morning from 8 a.m. to 12, and he said more than likely Monday, but then he called us today and said he could drop it off, and we're like, oh, that's cool. So definitely something I'm gonna have to get used to. I'm not used to having this new of a wheeled machine, really. This is a 2008. We got this, I would say, for an extremely good deal for what it is. It has 4,209 hours on it. Now, we did notice one thing. There is one of the SCV covers missing. I don't know what the deal is with that, but we'll just have to go and go down to John Deere and get one. We did notice, however, also in this upper linkage right here, They did remove the pin, so I'll just have to go get the hammer real quick and knock that pin over so we can get that pin in. So I don't know why they removed that, but actually I was the one that had to drive it off the lowboy, because Dad nor Grandpa knows how to drive an IVT, and that was actually my first time driving an IVT. And thank you, YouTube, for actually somewhat teaching me how to drive IVT. There isn't a lot of videos out there actually on how to drive IVT. So I'll probably be doing one maybe this fall on how to drive IVT. That's actually where it came from, or where it was bought actually, by the first owner. So as you can see also, there's some bolts here. This actually had a loader on it, an H480 loader, if you guys know what that loader is. That's actually one of the, I believe it's the biggest loader John Deere makes. So when we found this, actually this I believe has been listed. Supposedly they said this has only been on a dealer's lot for 3 months, and then it got moved to auction. But I thought I saw this on Machine Finder at least for 6 months, and the only reason why I never looked at it was because it had a loader on it. And I'm like, well, we don't really need a loader, so we never really, I just completely glanced over it. So we were looking at 8530s, and you saw we went up to Three Rivers, Michigan, and looked at one. And honestly, I wasn't too fond of the one up in Three Rivers just because of the condition it was in. But it could have been, I felt, in a little bit better of condition and could have been a little bit more taken care of. I believe that one was an 06, I want to say. But that night, Dad was actually looking at tractors and found this one with a loader. And I'm like, well, what are we going to do with the loader? And it's just like, well, we could sell the loader, because we're not going to use a 8000 series tractor to utilize as a loader, because that's just putting useless hours that we already have on this machine that, you know, I believe doesn't deserve that hour, or doesn't deserve more hours on use like that, while we already have a perfectly good tractor that runs great on a 245 loader. Don't quote me on that. So the 4430. So but yeah, this actually does have IVT, like I was discussing earlier. But here's the joystick for the loader. We're probably going to take this off and sell it. I'm actually shocked they didn't take this off when they moved it to auction, because it was supposedly on a dealer's lot for 3 months, and then on for consignment, I believe, for the guy, and then it got moved to auction by the owner, and that was actually 2 days after we called them about this. And then we decided, well, you know, let's go out there and see what we can do on it. And we actually got it for a really decent price, I feel, for these, especially for the 8530s, because I talked with a lot of guys, and they're like, with that many hours and the condition it's in, it should be worth a lot more. I'm like, yeah, but I feel we did very good on this. So you can kind of see in the corner there, I actually glanced right over this, and I actually should have looked at this a little bit more. This is actually, I believe, I don't know if this was the original wire that's up here, and the guy routed it down here, but this is actually for a CB or two-way radio, or any type of radio to mount in here. I believe he actually did have one mounted in here, because you can kind of tell that there was a little bit of a bracket here, and he also has all the caps off of these. So I know for a fact he ran auto steer in this, and I know for a fact he had a radio in here, especially since he routed the wire here, because a lot of guys route it from up here and just take that glass out up there and route it up in here. But I was actually shocked that he routed it here, and I believe that's the power cable for the radio, but I'm not sure. I'll have to figure this out later and take a look at this and see, but I might just splice into it when I buy my radio, depending on if this power hookup does not work with the radio I buy. I plan on getting a Midland radio, two of them actually, one for in here and one for in the combine, an MXT 115. So, not sure what size antenna I'm working on. I know for sure I'm not going to use a stock one. It either comes with a 3dB, or you can buy in either a 3dB or a 6dB, which I believe it's either 3 meter or 6 meter. No. The big one's a 27.5 inch, sorry, 27.5 inches. I was thinking of the wires. You can buy these in 3 meter or 6 meter, which is cool that he routed this, because in the deluxe cabs, the wire's up in here. So I guess he routed it here, and I know for a fact that there's a cap up on top that you take off to tap in to put your antenna on, which, speaking of antennas, those are all the bolts actually for the duals. But I didn't realize this. I didn't really look at this down at the auction too much in here. This actually, I believe, was the antenna he used. The antenna that comes with the radios I'm going to buy is about a quarter of a size, I think, maybe even an eighth of the size of this that comes with it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one. I feel I'm probably just going to use the one that, you know, that comes with the antennas or is meant for the antennas, because I'm not sure what antennas he used, if he used a CB or what. But that's the category 4, I want to say, for the 3-point. So it did come with that. The beacon light they took off for transport, and as you can see, they folded the mirrors in. So I unfolded that one up there. It does have the sunshade in front. As I mentioned, this is the deluxe cab. I see a lot of these, though, being sold as deluxe cabs, so I assume there was a lot of deluxe cabs made, though. The one up in Three Rivers, though, did have a leather seat in it. I don't know if they ever made leather buddy seats. I'm not sure if they did that or not. But honestly, this is the smoothest riding tractor I've ever driven. And Dad nor Grandpa has attempted to drive it yet, just because they don't know how to drive IVT yet. But in all honesty, I mean, it's like flying the drone. I mean, you just got to get out there and try it. And when I drove it off the trailer, I did use clutch, because I know a lot of you guys say you don't need to use clutch when you run IVT, but I wanted to just, you know, I'm so used to clutch, so I just used the clutch when I drove it off the trailer, or off the lowboy. And when I did move it back here, though, I did try it without clutch, and I was like, wow, this is really impressive, driving something like this without clutch. So, but yeah, as I mentioned before, a radio will be in here, so I'll probably, I'm not sure what brackets that Deere makes, if Deere works with this company called Lankota. I kind of mentioned it to some of you guys about that. Lankota, they make, as far as I know offhand, I haven't really browsed their whole website. I know they make a lot of harvest products, a lot of stuff for combines. And when I was looking at monitor brackets, because I'm going to end up putting the GS2/GS3 monitor bracket in here. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's similar to like what the tractor has. It comes off in here. And also the one that comes clear across the window here. But they also make one for CBs and two-way radios. So I'm not going to be putting a CB in here like I said earlier. It's just going to be a two-way radio. But I will end up putting one in the combine. So this will be definitely used on the grain cart. So otherwise, other than that, we probably will put more weights on the front. Just over at our place, we have some more weights over there on a pallet, so we'll probably end up putting some more weight on. And otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Also, they had different fenders for the loader, which got sold with the loader, which I didn't mind because they weren't really meant I mean, they could be used without the loader on, but it's more preferred to have the standard fenders like these on the front. So otherwise, I don't really know too much else I could really say about it otherwise than what I covered. Yeah, it's got four SCVs, PTO, IMS, iOS also, IVT. So all new stuff that I'm gonna have to get used to. Definitely gonna be nice though driving it on grain cart. That's all I can say, because after driving it in the driveway, it's really nice having that IVT. So also, I guess I can walk over here to the building and talk a little bit about that real quick. So we actually borrowed the same neighbor's backhoe that we borrowed before. Actually, this is his other backhoe, his older one. He's got the new one that we borrowed earlier in the season, or in the year, and this one. The only thing I don't like about this one is that, one, it's older, and two, it needs batteries, because every time you shut it off, you gotta go find the jumper cables and or the battery charger just to get it started. So as you can see, we do have a hydraulic leak on the excavator, so we're trying not to use it as much. We thought we found it, but I guess it's on another hose, so we're gonna have to get that fixed at some point here before we move it back over to the woods and start taking out more trees. As you can see, we got it pretty much backfilled except for where the gas line is. So you can kind of see it I'm not going to walk all the way over to it, but if you look over at the grain bin, the south bin, if you look at the gator and look at the entrance door there on the bin, right behind there's a little pipe sticking up. That is the meter for the natural gas. So we talked with NIPSCO, and we are tapping into that. You can see where the yellow hose is sticking up. That is where the natural gas line is. That's actually where it stops, because we only have, I believe, 150 feet rolls that we bought, 2 of them. One's already put in, already run under the building. So, and then that blue hose right there, you can see where the other hydrant is over there. We ran a water line. We tapped on to this one here and routed it all the way over here. This one was actually tapped in to the one over there, so we have it all routed over to there, and that's all set and ready to go. We're working on getting this to grade, so tomorrow we will put in the in-floor heat, or try to, hopefully, depending on what we decide to do. I think we're going to need more fill dirt to, because, actually, where's the pile? There's the pile. That is from when we took out that, one of the trees that were back here, actually about right where that grass is growing up right there. And I don't think we're going to have enough fill dirt to actually get this to grade, because we need to get this up to 8.5 inches below the top of the wall for how we have the in-floor heat set up. As you can see, we have insulation put in. That is to insulate the radiant heat. So, and also the conduit that's sticking up, that is for the electric. That's not going to be that high. That was just a piece of conduit that we had. That was the only piece we had left, actually. So, but we had to cut a piece to shorten it up to stick it there. So that will be on the inside of the garage. And where the line is, well, you can't really see it, but actually, if I walk over here, this is, that black line there will divide where the garage is and where the office is. So I don't think that's on time lapse right now. It's probably shut off because it's out of battery, unless it's still plugged in. I can't tell. Looks like it's plugged in, so we might be on time lapse right now. But yeah, so we had the gas line tapped up right there, so obviously not hooked up. So we'll have to get that set up along on this wall, and I don't think we're going to tap it in just yet. We're going to work on getting this all set up and ready to go for farm builders to come out and get the building up. And while they're working on that, I imagine we'll be working on getting the gas line hooked up. And we tapped into the panel over there because that panel right there in front of us taps off of the meter. That's right beyond my grandpa's and my truck over there, right to the west of the barn, actually. So that panel directly across from us with the big new panel box. As you can see, that big gray one, that's the new one for the building here. So that's where we routed the electric off of. So that's why we had the gas line kind of run over there. But we're going to Y off of the gas line there and run one over to the shop, not only for the fact that a matter of when we put in-floor heat in there, because at some point this will probably be all shop more than likely, and we're going to essentially have it so that we have this all set up for in-floor heat in the future, and all we have to do is just tap onto the line, and we have that LB white in there. So temporarily, while we have the LB white, we may convert that over to natural gas, because the propane tank that's actually back by the fuel tank fuel tank's back there directly behind, just south of the bathroom there, is just for the LB white. So we may convert this over to natural gas while we already have the natural gas line run here. So our plan is to probably come up about right where, either on the left or right side of that four-way outlet right there. So we'll have to move the spray trailer, the van trailer, out of the way. So once that's done, I imagine farm builders will already be here while we're working on that, because that's not really a priority for the building. So hopefully, I would say not next week, because we still got to put 4 drains in, a drain for the bathroom and a drain for the garage. I believe we're only putting in 1 drain for the garage and just sloping it. So once we get the drains in, that's pretty much it. After we get the radiant heat in and it's to grade and the drains are in, and yeah, so then they'll be out here building it. So I would imagine 2 weeks. So all next week, and then the week after they'll start, I believe. So otherwise, that's pretty much it. That's what's going on. Sorry for the long video. I figured I'd give you guys a lowdown on the building, because I know a lot of you guys were asking me, like, what are you guys building? Well, go watch the previous videos. You guys will figure that out. So otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. This will be really cool to have now. The track tractor is not sold, so by the way, the track tractor is for sale if you are still tuned in, hopefully. Track tractor is for sale, that 9400T with 55 94 hours, brand new 36-inch tracks, new bogey wheels also, PTO and 4 SCVs, and spent most of its life on a grain cart. I know a lot of you guys have already asked me this, and you guys are already pretty much hearing the same stuff, but this is for the new viewers or previous viewers that did not know this. So that is what's replacing the 9400T. I failed to mention that. So otherwise, yeah, like I said earlier, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and don't forget to add me on Instagram and Snapchat. Usernames are down below, and well, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video then.